This is Sound Theater Live. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming to my stream for requests only, my bi-weekly show where you guys vote on our poll and tell me what you want me to narrate. So today we have three requests, just like every day, and two of them are from LitRPG/Gamelit books. Let me move my chair a little bit. There we go. So I'm out of the microphone's way. Okay, so we have The Forsaken God. It looks like book 5 of the Realms by C.M. Carney. I think I've narrated something by him on this stream before. Maybe another book in that particular series. I don't remember. There've been so many. And then we also have Dungeon Dive, a LitRPG story, Tales from the Gods game, Book 1 by Rohan. I don't know how to pronounce that. Is it Rohan or Rowan? Rohan M. Vider. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. There we go. Turn that off. So, yeah. That one is, I think that one's been under request for a while, and it finally got here. And then at the very end, I will be letting Boxxy Morningwood take over, and he's going to sing one of his favorite karaoke tunes, "The Thunder Rolls" by Garth Brooks. I remember listening to Garth Brooks a lot when I was a kid. My brother was a big fan, and basically when I was a kid, my whatever my brother was listening to, I was listening to, and I was into. And Garth Brooks was one of his big. Uh, he was a big fan of Garth Brooks. So anyway, yeah. How's everybody doing? Thanks everyone for coming. Please say hi in the chat. Let's see who all is here so far. We have Zior, I think, Frank Avila, Gary Simmons, Lisa Claire is here, and is Sean Mitchell England still here? Chad Nelfie, Captain 2278. I know you guys showed up a bit early. Oh, and interesting new look. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a good new look. Is that a good interesting, or is that just a interesting? I'm not really purposefully having a new look. I'm growing my hair out again, and it's in that awkward phase where I just don't want people to look at it, so I just stick the beanie on. And it also keeps it under control, keeps it flattened down my head, kind of keeps it Bruce Lee style instead of afro puffy like it wants to do. I didn't even buy this beanie. Someone left it at my house. I don't even know who left it at my house, but it's been at my house for years, and it's never been worn since it's been left at my house. So figure I might as well make use of it. Anyway, on to the show. All right, so I think I'm going to start off with The Forsaken God by C.M. Carney. Again, this is book 5 of the Realms. Let me get you a picture of the cover here. It's kind of a cool cover. Very, very ominous. Looks like maybe a pendant, an artifact, or maybe the face of a statue. I think all of the books in this series kind of have this same theme going on, where there's like maybe an artifact or a statue's face or something as the centerpiece of the image. Um, but it's pretty cool, kind of evocative, kind of evocative of like like maybe some kind of nature god or something. I don't know. We'll see what it is when we get going. All right, so let's get the Forsaken God banner out. Forsaken God by C.M. Carney. By the way, guys, if this is your first time hanging out on a Sound Booth Theater Live, requests only. The descriptions, the links to all the Kindle books, the 2 Kindle books that I'm narrating from today are in the description below, as is, let me shut this off, as is a link to Mr. Boxxy T. Morningwood's 3 Audible books for Everybody Loves Large Chests. those are all in the description below. So if you find something that I'm reading here today compelling, go check out the links. Also, if you are having fun, or I mean, I know it's early to tell, but if you do have fun in the course of this show, please give me a like on the video and subscribe to our channel if you want to check out more and want to stay updated. All right, so CM Carney gave me some. He gave me some. He gave me some direction, and he gave me a specific part to read. So let me read his descriptions here. All right, so Griff is the main character of the realms. He was a soldier and spy back on Earth. Now he is the leader of a city and a low-nonsense warrior mage, but he's not against ribbing his comrades. In this scene, he has journeyed into the realm inside a magical book to gain knowledge from an ancient wizard whose brain is a bit addled. Okay, and I think that this next sentence is describing Griff. I always thought of him as being Jim Caviezel in Person of Interest if he was voiced by Kevin Conroy as Batman from the animated series. So I tried to, let me do some research here. Let me listen to some Jim Caviezel.
An ex-military operative arrives in New York City.
From the show.
Reese is a man of action. He is a former Special Forces soldier and CIA tactical officer. But at the same time,
let me hear him talk.
And many of these guys,
and it went silent. All right, this video's fucked. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly how I'm supposed to play this. It's not working. But I don't know. Are you guys? Have you guys seen that show, Jim Caviezel? I guess he's the main character. So, but I do know how to be Kevin Conroy as Batman. So I'll just do his voice like that. All right. So we also have Syndravian. This dude is a powerful and old wizard. He is also nuts and real paranoid. I imagine him played by Terry Jones of Monty Python fame. I'm going to have fun with that because I love Terry Jones. He always does funny shit. All right, Lex, Griff's NPC and sidekick. He is rash, sarcastic, loyal, and only really briefly in this scene. Okay. So, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I'll play that. I'll just read his lines and see how it goes. 10 people watching now. If anybody just dropped in, please say hi in the chat. Thank you for coming. And I will acknowledge yo ass if you say something in the chat. Oh, Runin Tenchi. Pancakes, always. He's always requesting the pancakes. I kind of like, I feel fine about, oh, Jeff Morris is Zior. I see. Okay, so, you know, when people ask for pancakes, I just give them pancakes, you know, to show my appreciation for them. Christopher Ball, thanks for joining. I don't know if I've seen you here before, but welcome. Again, if you guys are having fun, please put a like on this video, and here we go. We'll get started. Let's see. Let me do one more thing. I'm going to narrate. Looks like it's third person. Anyone want to give me a request as far as narration? Nah, you know what? This one I'll just play it straight. Michael White, good to see you. Thanks for coming. The pancakes are from Super Sales for Superheroes. And Laura from the Discord. All right. All right. So, okay, here goes. Griff stumbled and nearly fell. Somehow, even though he'd been sitting a moment ago, he now stood on a stone walkway. He wobbled, but caught his balance before falling over the edge into a rolling mass of swamp green something. He couldn't decide if it was a liquid or a solid. It was both and neither. Deja vu flickered at the edges of his awareness as he saw parts of both his soul reverie and the Perk Point marketplace in the senses disrupting morass. Let me try that again. Deja vu flickered at the edges of his awareness as he saw parts of both his soul reverie and the Perk Point marketplace in the senses disrupting morass. What is morass? Let me look that up. I mean, I know what those two words apart mean, but this is morass.
Morass.
An area of muddy or boggy ground, a complicated or confused situation. Okay. What? There's another Jeff H here. What the hell's going on? Okay. Griff tore his gaze from the raw stuff of creation and looked skyward. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, no, that's right. Thick gray-green clouds flowed overhead in a twinning maelstrom of interconnecting storm cells. Silver-blue lightning flashed among them in vast chains, illuminating one, then another of the bulbous pockets of air and moisture. Each flash revealed a horror of twining tentacles swarming inside the clouds, and Griff flinched as crashes of thunder rumbled over him. The thunder rolls. The tentacles were like the beast the group had slain back in the tomb, only much larger, and these are flying among the clouds, he told himself. Walk silent, walk quick. Griff tore his gaze from the writhing monstrosities and moved up a set of stairs, struggling like a toddler learning to walk. Something about traversing dimensions always quirked up his equilibrium, but he regained his balance with each step and soon reached a circular platform. 5 causeways flared out like the spokes of a wheel, each leading up to a smaller dais. At the center of each sat a stone lectern where carbon copies of the Codex of Ritual Wonder bobbed up and down, as if floating on the swell of a calm sea. Griff's heart raced at the prospect of gaining 5 more volumes of ritual magic knowledge, and he took a cautious step onto the central platform. A flash of silver-gray light exploded under his foot and sped through the intricately carved lines around the entire platform. He recognized the activation of a rune form and tried to rush back down the stairs, but the energy pulsed around the entire rostrum faster than his eyes could follow, and his face smacked into an invisible wall as hard as stone. The hairs on the back of Griff's neck rose, and a voice reached his ears.
Is that you, Exum, you traitorous cockalorum?
By the time Griff had turned, 2 of his new throwing knives were at the ready. What he saw stayed his hand. Standing at the center of the platform was a wizened man, his back crooked and bent. He wore ragged, filthy robes that in a more laundered past may have been luxurious, and clutched a twisted wooden staff in his left hand. Unkempt hair exploded about his head, and a scruffy beard, so full of detritus that it would have made a passable nest for a bird, tufted from his face. His rheumy eyes closed to slits as he stared at Griff. What kind of safeguards are these? Griff wondered, remembering the warning that had come with the Codex's description.
You look taller, Exum, and far less ugly.
He pointed at Griff with the stump of his right arm.
Have you stolen someone's body again?
Again, Griff thought in alarm, but regained his composure on seeing the man's missing hand. Grandmaster Syndravian?
Of course, I am me, Exum. Who else would I be if I were not me? You're the one who goes around snatching bodies from people.
The old man's eyes squinted further, and Griff wondered how the man could see.
Wait, are you sure you're Exum? Or did you steal the body Exum stole?
For a moment, Griff felt like he was talking to a senile Lex. Nope, I'm Exum, and sorry about, stealing this body. I hope it does not offend.
If the previous owner was foolish enough to leave it lying about, then it is no skin off my nose.
As if under the sway of his own subliminal influence, Syndravian scratched the side of his nose with his stump. An unpleasant squelching sound crossed the space between them. After several seconds, the old man stopped and looked at Griff.
What were we talking about?
Griff saw an opportunity. Grandmaster Syndravian, if this truly was him and not some simulacrum of the man, was clearly a bit addled in the brain. If Griff could keep him off balance, perhaps he'd gain access to the knowledge of the Codex. You were about to share with me your greatest discoveries, Grandmaster. Sindravian cocked his head to the side like a confused parrot.
Really? That doesn't sound at all like me. Don't I always promise to tell you my secrets and then withhold them?
Yes, and it is quite amusing, too, Griff said, forcing a light chuckle into his tone. But, wise Grandmaster, do you not remember the orders you gave me last night?
Orders?
What's up, LitRPG Reroll? That is Lavelle Jackson, if you guys didn't know. He runs another YouTube channel, LitRPG Reroll. He does reviews of sometimes SPT stuff, lots of other people's stuff, so thanks for coming. Check out his YouTube channel, LitRPG Reroll. Okay.
Orders?
The Mad Mage stared at Griff, his face drawn into a scowl as he sucked loudly at his teeth.
Of course I remember. I am surprised you do. In fact, if you truly are Exhume and not some impostor, I cannot let you trick me into revealing my orders. Instead, you will tell me what those orders were.
Griff's brain swam at the deep illogic of the comment, and he hoped the man was not manipulating him, playing him for the fool. Is it any safer hoping he's an unstable lunatic? The phantom voice of the phantom voice of the colonel asked. I don't know who the colonel is. I'm gonna just do my best Norm Macdonald here as Colonel Sanders. Is it any safer hoping he's an unstable lunatic? Didn't sound like him. I tried. An Irish brogue for the wizard? I can try. The phantom voice of the colonel asked. Griff wanted to scowl at his dead father's words, but he kept his face locked into a pleasant smile. Who knew what the mage would do to him if he thought he was lying? Of course, Grandmaster, Griff said and took a deep bow. You told me you were retiring, and because of my many years of loyal service, you had chosen me to continue your legacy.
I did. Why would I do that?
He stared at Griff, suspicion starting to push through the fog of his addled mind. He raised his staff, and Griff knew he had mere moments before the mage unleashed his attack.
That doesn't sound like me at all. I am far too selfish to hand over my knowledge to the likes of you.
Griff's mind scrambled for an out, his eyes widening as the Grand Master stood stall and aimed his stump at him. Power howled through the ancient man's body, wrapping around him in multicolored whirls of mana. Griff suspected, despite his age and insanity, the man could lay him low in an instant, especially here, in whatever odd realm that insanity had built. Griff's eyes stared at the stump, and a thought triggered by a single line in the Codex of Ritual Wonders description came to him. "The dragon," Griff blurted. Oh man, lots more people already. Okay, so Cove0011 just showed up. Mo Bigsley 1 just showed up. Thanks for coming, guys. Who else is new here? Who else just showed up? Please say hi in the chat and I will acknowledge your ass.
Dragon? What dragon?
Sindravian looked down on his stump and flinched, jumping back as if he'd forgotten all about the amputated limb.
Oh, that dragon,
he said, a childish pout coming to his lips.
I hate that dragon. That is why I killed it.
Frankavilla? I always heard the colonel voiced as Elmer Lee's voice, the sergeant. Oh, okay. That's okay. I'll do that from now on.
But you didn't remember? I didn't. I thought I did.
We all thought you did. But the dragon deceived you by taking over the body of the gardener, Sindravian said, his eyes wide, his voice the aha tone of a conspiracy theorist, convinced his idiotic theory is true. What's up, Durzo? Griff coughed to cover his surprise.
Yes, exactly. And you ordered me to kill him since a dragon in the body of a lowly gardener is below me, the mage said, eyes wide in understanding. Yes.
He turned a joyous he turned a joyous gaze on Griff. A man too many. Good to see you, Rat Rod Russell. Hello. Thanks for coming. More people flowing in.
Yes, yes, I remember now.
He motioned for Griff to come closer, all threat and suspicion gone.
I will teach you how to use my ocularum, and then you can choose the knowledge from one of my codices. With it, you can kill the dragon gardener.
He swept his arm in a wide arc towards the 5 lecterns, his erratic motion nearly pulling him off balance.
Would it not be better to teach me all your techniques, so I may have a better chance to fulfill my mission? To kill a gardener?
Oh.
To kill a gardener?
Sindravian asked with a shriek.
No, the ocularum. The ocularum. The ocularum. The ocularum and the power in one codex is more than sufficient to accomplish that feat. Besides, you're only level 19 in ritual magic, a mere babe in the woods. Talk to me when you have advanced a tier. Perhaps I'll allow you to learn more, or perhaps I'll kill you.
Sindravian smiled like a kid learning he'd soon vacation at Disney World, and turned towards the array of codices, motioning Griff to follow.
Come, come!
An alarm roared in Griff's head.
If he knows I'm level 19, what else does he know? Is this some ploy?
Knowing he had to play along, Griff walked up and stood beside the insane Grand Master.
First, to use the ocularum, you need,
Sindravian said, scowling at the creakiness in his voice before opening and closing his mouth several times to moisten the tacky paste covering his tongue. He failed if his sour expression was any sign, and grumbling to himself, he released his staff.
Guess I'll have to do it the easy way. This may tickle.
The staff floated in midair, drawing Griff's gaze, and a second later, Sindravian's hand launched out, his thumb and fingers pincering Griff's temples with surprising strength. Griff yelped in alarm, but then went limp as a torrent of information poured into him. Ah, Jeff Hollingsworth. Gotcha. Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming. Lots more people joining in. 19 people now. Thank you, guys, everyone, for coming. Just say hi in the chat if you're new. If you just came in, and I will acknowledge your ass. Okay. Griff's mind swirled, and the pain nearly forced him to his knees, but he resisted, understanding that it was no time to show weakness. A moment later, the pain in his head and the writhing of his stomach ceased, and Griff knew how to use the ocularum. A moment later, the pain in his head and the writhing of his stomach ceased, and Griff knew how to use the ocularum. That word. Sorry. Thanks, Eben Soul. Thanks for coming. Love you too. He looked up at the wizened old man with newfound respect. The ritual mage had created the realm's version of a scanning matrix coupled with a replication unit. The possibilities of such a device overwhelmed Griff. Sindravian turned towards the 5 codices.
Hokey dokey? Which one do you want?
Griff twitched for several seconds as he tried to regain his composure.
Snap, snap, Exum. Don't make me ask again, or I'll flay you alive.
Sorry, Griff said, lowering his head in a small bow. What are my options? A grumble of discontent, or perhaps gastrointestinal distress, moved through Sindravian as he gazed from one codex to the next.
Well, there are 5 paths. The pattern of might, the pattern of magic, the pattern of guile, the pattern of enlightenment, and the pattern of advancement. All have value, but some are more valuable than others.
Griff was about to ask what the differences were when a prompt filled his vision. The 5 patterns. The pattern of might teaches a rune form that will increase the martial skills of those who walk the pattern. The pattern of magic teaches a rune form that will increase the magical skills of those who walk the pattern. The pattern of guile teaches a rune form that will increase the stealth skills of those who walk the pattern. The pattern of enlightenment teaches a rune form that will expand the understanding of those who walk the pattern. The pattern of advancement teaches a rune form that will expand the learning of those who walk the pattern.
What does walk the pattern mean?
Griff asked, bewildered. The few rune forms he'd encountered did not have paths. They were complex drawings that empowered a particular spell effect. He'd thought of them as magical computer programs. They just were. There was no walking.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Sindravian asked, head cocked sideways at Griff like he was an idiot.
You walk.
The robed man started shuffling around in circles.
Walk like this. You've never walked before.
Griff stared.
You always were adult, Exum. First, you draw the rune form.
Sindravian mocked drawing an elaborate rune form, his tongue sticking out in concentration.
Then you power it up.
He cast his arms above his head, made a variety of power surging noises and vague explosion sounds.
Then you walk the pattern.
He shambled around in an intricate circular pathway only he could see.
And then you gain the powers.
He spasmed like a man being electrocuted.
Okay then,
Griff said, and looked at each book. The first 3 patterns seemed self-explanatory, but the vague description of the last 2 piqued his interest.
And the difference between understanding and learning?
Simple.
Understanding allows you to use what you already know better, while learning enables you to learn more when you learn.
The old man's eyes turned to slits with suspicion.
I told you all this before. What are you asking again?
Just being thorough, Griff said, his voice a bit higher pitched than normal. Oops. Just being thorough. While he did not find the explanation simple, he feared any further questions would arouse suspicions in the unstable Grand Master. Excuse me.
So, gain more from what I learn, or know more from what I gain?
Cove, are you asking me to do that for, like, system messages and stuff? The first 3 patterns all held significant promise, especially if they could power up the army he was building, but he found his eyes drawn to the last 2, the pattern of enlightenment and the pattern of advancement. Griff imagined both concepts working hand in hand with his lore skill.
Hurry, young'un. I don't have all day,
Sindravian said, and then a thoughtful look crossed his face.
Actually, I do. But I'm sick of looking at you. You're far too pretty with those soulful grey eyes, your flowing silver locks, and them high cheekbones, bound to make me feel bad about myself, or get me all riled up.
The old man leered at Griff for a moment.
Perhaps a bit of both.
Griff backed away a pace, putting space between himself and the ancient Grand Master. After a moment, the mage backed off and waved towards the lecterns.
Up to it, laddie! That dragon won't kill itself.
Griff stepped forward and then remembered the final note in the ocularum's description.
Wait! I need the word of power to unlock the ocularum.
Ocularum.
Oh, right,
Sindravian said, smacking his stump against his forehead in a duh motion.
The word of power is?
He stared at Griff, perhaps hoping he would make a guess. Griff waited for several moments as the tension built.
Yes?
You're not going to guess? No, Griff said, his tone descending towards hostility.
Oh, you're no damn fun. The word of power is? Sausages.
What? Griff said, both bewildered and irritated. Sausages! Sausages! You know, all meat and spices stuffed into an intestinal lining. Yummy goodness. Don't you have them where you're from? Don't you have them where you're from? Damn shame if you don't. Tell you what, next time you're here, if I'm in a good mood and I don't kill you, we'll roast some over a nice fire. What you say to that? Okay, then, Griff said, and without another word or look, walked to the Pattern of Enlightenment Codex. His fingers grazed the cover, and it heaved open. More swirling lines and snaking runes spun towards him, and a flash blinded him. A prompt filled his vision. So I don't know if I can do Creole. That's one I have not. I can do Gambit from the X-Men cartoon. That's about as good as I can do. Oh, what's up, Floofy? Thanks for coming by. All right, so I'm gonna do these. All right, I'm gonna do Gambit for this this notification. You have learned the rune form Path of Enlightenment. Tier, Journeyman. Journeyman. Wait. Tier, Journeyman. Activation requirement, 30,000 mana. Power requirement, 1,000 mana per walk. Those who walk the pattern of this rune form will gain greater enlightenment of the world around them. Walkers will gain a bonus to their wisdom. Their minds will be clearer and make connections between disparate things. Walkers may discover that they are more intuitive and have greater control over their emotions, memories, and will even understand their dreams to a greater degree. In practice, this enlightenment boosts the effectiveness of all skills, perks, spells, and other abilities that they already possess, increasing the effectiveness of those abilities by 10%. No, you have not missed it. Experience. A spell that does life damage will now do 10% more damage. This effect is permanent. Benefits of walking the pattern are awarded once. Further walks do not add further bonuses unless the rune form is upgraded to a higher tier, at which point the individual may walk the pattern again to receive the bonus. By the time his eyes cleared, he was back in the tomb, leaning against the chest. Lex stared down on him, speaking loud and slow through cupped hands. Can you hear me? Yeah, man, get out of my face, Griff said, swatting the NPC's hands away. Overham helped him to his feet, and the others all waited for him to speak. All except Lex. So, we in business? The eager NPC asked. Griff looked up from the book, his face splitting into a wide grin. Oh yeah, we're in business. Whose character gave you Morningwood? That's gross, Ebensoul. Oh, Snack? French with a drawl. All right, so that's it. So that is C.M. Carney's The Forsaken God, The Realms, Book 5. So if you enjoyed it, check out the link in the description below. That takes you to the Kindle version of that book. It is so far a 5-book series. Maybe it's bigger, I don't know. But so far I think it's 5. And yeah, you can start from the very beginning if you follow that link to the first one. Thank you, C.M. Carney, for requesting your book. Hopefully we'll be finding your stuff again in a future stream. So on to the next. We are going to Tales from the Gods by Rohan M. Vider. All right, so let me go ahead and change up my my brands here. So here's the cover. Dungeon Dive, Tales from the Gods game, a LitRPG story by Rohan and Vider. And where is my... Here's the banners. Yes. That's an interesting cover too. I like the covers that have like a symbol on the front. Kind of remind me of actual tomes from way back. And then it's got an owl outline, and a triangle. So the owl is like a huge fan of 80s arcade games. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this will be good. Let's check this out. All right, he gave me some notes here. Scene blurb: champions Talia and Aviad meet the ranger squad that will accompany them on the dungeon dive. Aviad. Aveyyad. I don't know how to pronounce that. Aviad is how I'm going to say it. Excuse me. It could be an owlbear. Okay, so champion, young leader, human male, co-leader of the dungeon party, mage summoner. Considerate, slightly naive, not very worldly. Okay. Talia, champion, young leader, human woman, co-leader of the dungeon party, fighter inquisitor, brash, willful, strong, independent. Okay. Galleon, young elf, corporal, male, ranger, earnest. Okay. Ilios, old elf, veteran, male, ranger. Okay. Lyra, young elven woman, ranger, bright, cheerful, cool. Alok, young elven male, ranger, youngest of the ranger team. All right. I think I got these. Galleon is young elf. Elias, all right, is the older one. Lyra is the other female one. Aveyyad is how you spell it. I don't know how to pronounce it. But we will get on with it. Okay, so this is... Oh, shit. I forgot to unblock my face. I don't know if you prefer this or my face, but here it is. Okay. All right, and this one I will take a request for the narrator accent. Or narrator character. There's a character that I've voiced that you would like to hear me narrate as. I'm gonna take... Just taking requests here. Come on, guys. Old English. All right.
Left alone with the Rangers, the champions blinked at one another and wondered where to begin. First things first, thought Aviad, and probed the Ranger squad with insight. Aviad heaved a sigh, reassured by what he saw. Despite appearances to the contrary, the Rangers were crack troops. All four were between level 30 and level 39. Their levels were higher than Aviad's, but still within the apprentice rank, which was between levels 20 to 40. Galleon, Lyra, and Alok, were vassal-bound to Callistra Sylvan, commander of the Scarral Rangers, whereas Elias owed his allegiance directly to the Marshal. It was unusual to see a player as low-ranked as Elias, vassal-bound to one so senior as the Marshal, but it explained the familiarity between the two, and perhaps why Elias's squad had been chosen. Talia still stared expressionlessly at the Rangers, so Aviad addressed the squad.
Rangers! The Marshal's introductions were rather curt. I am Champion Trainee Aviad, and this is Champion Trainee Talia. You are Rangers from Callistra's command, I believe?
He asked politely, even though insight had revealed their identities.
Yes, sir. First apprentice, squad of the Scarral Rangers. I am Corporal Galleon, sir. Wait. Yeah, that's fine. The elf snapped to attention and stared straight ahead.
Ranger Lyra, sir,
said the only woman amongst them.
And may I add, sir, I am thrilled to serve with you.
She cast a hasty glance at Talia.
You as well, ma'am.
Ranger Elok, sir, said the youngest, his voice soft. Elias, said the old ranger, with no more than a lazy waft of the arm. Well, if the marshal sees fit to ignore his disrespect, who am I to take him to task? Who are you? What? Okay, there's... All right. I presume that Commander Callistra has released your squad for this mission? Asked Aviad. Of who? Who's talking? Corporal Galleon, I imagine. Yes, sir. The Marshal contacted the commander through the communication network and obtained the champion's permission for us to be placed under the command of yourself and Champion Talia. With a sideways glance at the elder ranger, and the Marshal, of course, has also granted permission for Elias to serve under you. Good, said Aviad, thankful that the little detail had been taken care of. It was something of a delicate task to command the vassals of another champion. Vassals pledged fealty to a single champion, and the bond between the two was a sacred one, only rarely entrusted to another. Talia and himself, as junior champions, would have to take especial care not to give the Rangers cause to complain, else they'd face Callistra's wrath. Now, as to your mission, I trust you have been given the details? The elves nodded.
Is it true, sir? Are we really going on a dungeon dive?
Asked Lyra, near vibrating with eagerness. Eagerness. Where'd it go? I lost it. Oh, Aviad smiled as he recalled his own excitement. We are, Lyra. Now, he said, turning to the racks of equipment that filled the armory, Marshal Roland has given us free rein here. I suggest you make use of it and equip yourselves as you see fit. Corporal Galleon hesitated, then said, If it is all the same to you, sir, we will keep our existing gear. Talia, who had until that point remained silent, frowned at the ranger's words.
Corporal, I don't believe that wise. We are heading to a dungeon, and while you have no doubt seen danger patrolling the mountain range, dungeons are a different beast altogether. The foes we will face...
Galleon is right, cut in Elias, his voice unnecessarily loud in the confines of the armory. He staggered up to Talia and shook one finger at her. Look here, Missy, our gear is top-notch. In a fight, best notch. Oh. Apparently this is Sean Connery playing as Elias. Galleon is right. Look here, Missy. Our gear is top-notch. In a fight, best to have weapons you can trust. An appalled hush followed while the other rangers, Lyra and Galleon with wide-eyed horror, and Alok with a smile tugging at his lips, waited to see how Talia reacted to Elias's outburst. Aviad shook his head. This will not end well. Talia blinked a few times, seemingly shocked into silence. Her eyes narrowed as she studied the old ranger, who, words of wisdom delivered, swayed back into line with his fellows. She opened her mouth to reply.
Before she did so, the corporal intervened. Just in time as well, thought Aviard, to head off what was assuredly going to be a scathing retort. Elias meant no offense, ma'am. He threw a glare at the drunk ranger, who had begun to wobble forward again. Lyra, who stood alongside Elias, unceremoniously pulled him back, and, with a disgruntled sigh, the elder elf subsided. The corporal continued. You are likely not aware, ma'am, but all of the Scarl Ranger's equipment is custom-made by champions Bella and Bellin, master craftsmen both. We are unlikely to find better here. Sorry, my nose is itching. What the fuck? Lips pursed, Talia scrutinized the corporal for a second before she conceded the point. Very well, corporal. You know your own needs best. She swung to the racks of armored items. In that case, you can assist us. Gather up any apprentice-ranked gear and bring it. Aviard interrupted. Corporal, I realize your team was probably pulled as abruptly as we were for this mission. Is there anything you have left undone? We will be gone for at least 2 weeks, likely longer. Later, Barry Compton. Thanks for coming. Talia grimaced, but let the interruption pass unchallenged. The elves darted glances at one another before the corporal answered. What? Oh, Corporal, I realize your team was probably pulled as abruptly as we were for this mission. Is there anything you have left undone? We will be gone for at least 2 weeks, likely longer. You are correct, sir. We've not had a chance to say our farewells. If you'd permit, of course, said Aviard. Meet us in the courtyard when you're done. The rangers bowed their thanks and dashed off. Don't be too long about it, called Talia after them. The marshal will not appreciate being kept waiting. After the rangers disappeared, she turned to Aviard. She threw up her hands and said, Wonderful. You managed to get rid of our only help. Aviard ignored her and walked over to inspect the equipment the dwarven captain had selected. Excuse me. After a pointed pause, Talia stepped up to join him. 2 piles of gear had been assembled on the table. The first was a set of orichalcum plate armor and a 2-handed blood iron sword. Excuse me. That was presumably for Talia. Acquired. Knight's orichalcum plate armor. Full set. Type, heavy armor. Rank, rare. Requirements, level 20. Physical armor, 40. Special properties. Orichalcum. Orichalcum is magically inert and impervious to nearly all forms of magic. Armor created from it increases the wearer's magic resistance. Knight's set, plus 8% heavy armor skill. Description. Forged by the smith Bellin. This bronze-colored armor has been meticulously crafted and is a true masterpiece. Acquired. Judgment. Type, enchanted weapon. 2-handed sword. Rank, rare. Requirements, Inquisitor class. Apprentice. Damage, 38 to 40 slashing damage. Divine damage from channeled spells. Special properties. Judgment. Improves the Inquisitor's class ability. Caster's Bane. Mage Blade. Allows touch-based spells to be channeled through it. Apprentice Swordsman. Plus 8% sword skill. Description. A heavy 2-handed blade. Judgment has been especially crafted for Inquisitors. Forged of blood iron, a magically conductive metal. This sword's melee damage is enhanced by divine damage when its wielder casts touch-based spells. Acquired. The second pile was a set of spun shadow silk robes, twin wands, and an assortment of enchanted trinkets. They had been chosen for him, of course. He fingered each item in turn, inspecting them carefully. Acquired. Robes of the Magi. Type. Mystical garments. Rank. Rare. Requirements. Level 20. Spell armor. 40. Special properties. Shadow Silk. Increases essence regeneration rate. Magi. Plus 8% mystical garment skill. Description. Created by the weaver Bella from spun shadow silk. These robes are favored by spellcasters for their improvement of the wearer's essence regeneration. Acquired. Planar Scepter. Type. Enchanted weapon. Wands. Rank. Rare. Requirements. Celestial Invoker class. Apprentice. Special properties. Plus 8% to the level of planar summoned creatures. Description. The planar scepter is probably planar, right? The planar scepter, for this accent. The planar scepter is an enchanted wand that boosts the power of creatures summoned with planar magic by its wielder. Acquired. Spellcaster's wand. Type. Inscribed weapon. Wands. Rank. Rare. Requirements. Effective spellcasting skill and wands and staff skill of 20. Inscription strength determined by the caster. Special properties. Can use the dual casting ability at 2 times the normal casting time. Description. The spellcaster's wand is a rare magical artifact created by a master scribe. Within it is inscribed the spell design for dual casting, an ability that allows its bearer to cast 2 spells simultaneously. That's a lot of item stuff. The captain has chosen well, Aviard thought with a broad grin. The items set aside for him complemented his class perfectly. As he studied them, he flushed with excitement at the adventure that awaited. He glanced at Talia. She looked similarly overcome, her eyes sparkling as she studied the arms and armor laid before her. It was foolish, he knew, to look forward to the uncertain danger that almost assuredly accompanied the mission. Arms Master Sirius had made sure to drum into all his trainees his mantra, "Game is no game." Despite that, Avayard was eager for his first real trial. "The captain has chosen well," said Talia, echoing Avayard's sentiments with a grin of her own. She tugged Avayard away from the equipment and said, "But we should still check the shelves in case he missed anything." And that's it. That is Tales from the Gods by Rohan M. Vider. So if you guys liked that, go check it out. The link is in the description below, as well as the link to the first book that I read from. And yeah, that's it. Thank you, Rohan, for requesting. And yeah, let's get on to the end of the show, the finale, if you will, the thing that I believe many of you are truly here for. The Thunder Rolls, as sung by Boxxy T. Morningwood. Let me get some water here. This is going to take some water. Trust me. All right, so open my booth so I can hear the music. I did practice this before the show, guys. So I hope you appreciate that shit. Boxxy is prepared. Oh yeah. Let me change my banners here. By the way, I want to know what you guys think of this. I just had so much fun making this. It, like I said, only took me like 5 minutes. But yeah, I remember this picture of Garth Brooks from way back when this song came out, when this album came out, and I always thought it was badass. And just having Boxxy in his place just feels right. You know, it's a good looking picture.
hope you guys enjoy. It's on the Facebook. It's in the Facebook group if you want to download it and use it for anything. But yes, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Love a good prepared box. Man, I don't know if I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. But here goes.
"3:30 in the morning, not a soul in sight. City's looking like a ghost town on a moonless summer night. On the windshield, there's a storm moving in. He's headed back from somewhere that he never should have been. And the thunder rolls. And the thunder rolls. Every light is burning in a house across town. She's pacing by the telephone in her faded flannel gown, asking for a miracle, hoping she's not right, praying it's the weather that has kept him out all night. And the thunder rolls. And the thunder rolls. And the thunder rolls. And the lightning strikes. On a sleepless night, as the storm goes on, out of control, deep in her heart, the thunder rolls. She's waiting by the window when he pulls into the drive. She rushes out to hold him, thankful he's alive. But on the wind and rain, a strange new perfume blows, and the lightning flashes in her eyes, and he knows that she knows. And the thunder rolls. And the thunder rolls. And the thunder... Oh, sorry. And the thunder rolls. And the lightning strikes. Another love goes cold on a sleepless night. As the storm goes on, out of control, deep in her heart, the thunder rolls. Thank you, Sound Booth Theater Live people. I love you all. The thunder rolls. It's really intense. You guys should all be dramatically moved.
All right. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, that's our show. That is Sound Booth Theater Live, requests only for tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me. If you guys if you guys enjoyed the show, please give a like on the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not yet, and you can go back and look at all the other ridiculous things that I have done in the past. Share this video with anybody that you know is a Everybody Loves Large Chests fan. See if they enjoyed as much as you guys did. And we'll be having another Sound Booth Theater Live sometime this week, featuring Mr. Ronnie Verdi. That is R.R. Verdi, for those of you who don't know him personally. He wrote The Goblin King, which I produced last year, and I'm producing the second book very soon. I'm going to start narrating tomorrow, actually, called The Beast Queen. So we're going to have a Sound Booth Theater live about that sometime this week. And yeah, that's about it for now. Watch out for Everybody Loves Large Chests Volume 4. That is called Morgana. It's definitely the best produced audiobook of the series so far. Annie Ellicott joined me to do all the new female characters, but I'm still playing all the classics that you guys are used to. So I'm still Snack, I'm still Arms, I'm still what's her name? Snack, Arms. Who else? Who am I missing? Fizzy. That's right. I'm still Fizzy, and I'm still. I want to call her Void. It's not Void. Zone. Yes. There's quite a few characters, female characters that I still voice, but yes, I am Snack. But yes, Annie took over all the new ones, and she did such an excellent job. Any of you that have already read the book, you will know that there are really exciting characters that she's taken. If you haven't listened to the Everybody Loves Large Chests audiobooks, there's something seriously wrong with you. You are like too wholesome of a person, and I feel sorry for you. And I would like to fix it by having you listen to those books and allow your mind to be horribly, horribly warped. So check the description below. You will find a link to all the Everybody Loves Large Chests audiobooks. And yeah, that's it for the show tonight. Thanks again for coming and hanging out. Another poll will be up here pretty soon. And actually, I hope Danny's here. If he can hear me, maybe if he doesn't hear me today, I'll ask him tomorrow to make a new poll. Not just there's going to be a poll for the requests only, but I want to put up a new poll for a guest narrator to be voted on for the next Sound Booth Theater Live. So hopefully Danny will be putting that up. If not, I'll ask him to put it up tomorrow. And yeah, that's it. Later, guys. Have a good night. What? Did it not? It's still live? And